Hey everybody, it's Krista, and I am here today to talk to you a little bit about the Pantry Challenge, but also just to give you some ideas of what's going on right now. So we are gearing up for the garden season. So we've been really wet over the past several weeks, so I have not ordered my truckload of compost because I always have it brought in with a dump truck, and I have not done that. So I'm trying to arrange in between our weather patterns to one, get the truck delivered with my 8 tons of compost. I really need 2 trucks this year, and then coordinate with my dad to bring his Bobcat down. So, because we've got some shavings to move, and I also want to top a lot of beds off, and it's just easier to do it with the Bobcat and then spread it out rather than by, wagon load. So I've been trying to coordinate those 2 things in between all the rain showers, and it just hasn't worked out yet. The door on my greenhouse is broken. My husband's trying to fix that, but he was in the middle of building a billy barn for our male goats, and like today he's out there and checking beehives because it's that time of year, which all 3 of our hives are doing good. They all have bees in them. They still have honey, so we're good. But there's just a lot of things going on in the springtime. But one of the things that's going on right now, besides emptying out the pantry and trying to clean out a lot of the freezers, is tackling some of these projects that, one, I'm not going to have time for in the summer when the garden season is full on, and 2, I'm going to need room, so I need to get some of these projects done. So one of the biggest things I'm working on right now is learning this freeze dryer, and I posted a video of cleaning out the shelves where I had been storing my canned goods and stuff to make room for the freeze dryer, and then last Thursday I posted the freeze dryer video of setting it up. We've run it one time and it was not a total failure but we did candy, and because we knew what that was supposed to be like, because we had purchased freeze-dried candies at some events for the kids and stuff, so like we knew what certain candies the texture was supposed to be, and a couple of them came out okay, but like the gummy bears, they were just not right. And so I went back and I did some research and I diagnosed it, and during shipping, the inside piece that holds the trays, it had gotten sideways, and so we had straightened out. Well, it put the orange pads, which are your heating pads, on the bottom, and that's not correct. And part of me, like in my head, was like, I don't think those are supposed to be on the bottom. I've never noticed those in other people's videos, but certain parts of my pump and stuff didn't look the same as what was in the manual, so I was like, well, maybe this is just a different style, or they've added this feature or something like that. I didn't realize it was like the heating mats. So those go on the top. We have corrected that issue, and I actually have it going through its cooling chamber process right now. It takes about 15 minutes, and so while that is going, I am actually going to be working on putting yogurt on trays. Now, I have a dear friend of mine who, I want to say it's been 8 years ago. She actually started out, we met at a bridal show, because many of you know I'm a wedding photographer, or I was. I still do it now and then, but mostly I'm a farmer now. But anyway, back when I was doing it like full-time, over full-time, we were doing so many weddings a year that it was crazy. I had a nanny, I had a housekeeper, because all I did was work. I tend to be a workaholic. The pandemic changed all that. That's not here nor there, relevant to this story. But anyway, back during the day, I had met this sweet lady, very young at the time, actually. Her and her husband were both finishing up college, doing their residencies and stuff like that. And we photographed their wedding. First we did their engagements, and then bridals, and then wedding. And we just connected in such a way that it has blossomed into such a beautiful friendship, and have gone through pregnancies with her and photographing her children and her family. Like, it has been such a beautiful relationship. And one of the things that she has been struggling to find is no sugar added yogurt, freeze-dried options for her kids, because they travel a lot and they like the freeze-dried fruits and vegetables. But her 1-year-old loves the little yogurt bites, and she's been looking for, like more organic, no sugar added options. And they're super expensive if you can find them in some of the more specialty stores, but two, they just don't have a lot of options. So one of the things I do want to try is making my own yogurt this year. Now, last year I experimented with milking my goats. That was my first year that I've had goats for 2 years. And that last year was the first year that I had bred them and actually milked 2 of my does. And they're bred again and ready to go into milking again. I do have some stored milk in the freezer downstairs, but it is earmarked for, trying soap and trying, I've got to make some more cheese and some things like that. So one of the projects is using fresh goat's milk to make yogurt this year, and then flavoring it with either from my property or local properties if I don't grow it, like blueberries. We do have some blueberries. We don't have a good bumper crop yet, but we have some local people who do. So blueberries, strawberries, I have a strawberry patch. I could probably get enough to do some yogurt. Honey from our hives. My dad has pears, apple trees. He has some apple trees, but we also go up to a local orchard and get things, blackberries. So things that I can either source from my property, my dad's property, or another local farm that I have a connection to. So I can make no sugar added flavored yogurt bites for my friend. And so today, to test this out, because I'm still learning this freeze dry process, I am actually going to use some store-bought yogurt that I got at Aldi and get these on trays with different flavors and different things. So what I thought I would do is, I don't have a ton of recipes to show. I'm going to go back through, because I run about 2 weeks behind, I believe, on showing what I made. And I don't remember, but I think I've only got 1 or 2 recipes, just like I did last week, because I tend to make some of the same things over and over and over again, especially during the pantry challenge, because as you have seen from my pantry, we have a ton of spaghetti sauce canned. We have a ton of green beans canned. We have, a ton of meat in the freezers that's like, chicken leg quarters, chicken breasts, and roasts and things like that. And so I tend to make spaghetti, chicken salad, chicken soup, some of those things that are more quick and convenient, because I do them so much that I don't have to think about it. And so a lot of times I just make those over and over and over again. So like, I know this past week I made this huge thing of chicken salad and we ate on it for lunch and dinner for like 2 or 3 days. So I don't really have a lot to show. So what I thought I would do is I will pop those in right here and then come back, and I'm just going to talk to you a little bit while I do the yogurt on the trays. Alright, so one of my Christmas gifts that my husband got me, because he actually got my freeze dryer for my Christmas and anniversary gift, but for Christmas he bought me some things that went with it. So I had something to open. My husband, y'all, he is the best. Like, he really is the best shopper there is. He puts me to shame, and I always thought I was a good shopper. But one of the things that he got me were these parchment pieces that were cut to the freeze dryer trays, which I think you could easily get these and get a big piece and cut yourself. But I love these because they are super convenient, and who doesn't like some ease? So we're going to start with this. This is just plain whole yogurt. So this has 0 sugar, It's Greek yogurt. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but I think I'm just going to use a teaspoon and see if I can plop this out. So, make sure I'm where you can see it. And we'll see if this works. Alright, that's not going to work. Let's see. And what might be the best thing to do is to put this in like an icing bag. And I may have one around here somewhere, but I'm not looking for these to be like sellable or anything like that. I just have a photo session with my friend and her extended family. They are coming in from Argentina, which I think is, or maybe, I know she has family in Argentina, but I think her mom actually may live in Florida. I'm not sure. I know they are from Argentina. But they are coming in for her son's first birthday. And so I want to have, when I go to photograph the extended family, I wanted to make some of these things that she's been talking about with my freeze dryer for her to see if they work. And then that way, come this summer, when I have fresh goat's milk and I start making these as, you know, like legitimate stacks, I know what I'm doing. I know the process, and I'm a little more familiar, and it's not like I don't have a learning curve. I want to get the learning curve out of the way before busy season. And that's just something that I do love about this pantry challenge. Now, obviously, I bought this. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about with the pantry challenge. We did not give ourselves like a budget or, you know, limitations this time, because we buy very few things at the store to begin with. So what I did this time, alright, so that is plain, and I also got these little moo tubes because I thought they might be, now these of course have sugar added, so I'm not going to be able to, these would not be for her kids obviously, but I thought I would try these for snacks for my kids. So that's what I tend to buy at the store, is the things that I have not gotten into the habit of convenience yet. So mostly what I buy at the store is dairy when I don't have my goats in milk. So you can see that. I thought this would be convenient, and it actually is. So last summer when I was milking, I didn't really buy much dairy. I made a lot of ricotta cheese. I made some mozzarella, and we drank it. And we cooked with it. And so that actually took up a lot of what I would have spent on dairy. And so the only dairy I would buy is if I needed yogurt or cheese like cheddar. So this is why I got the moo tubes, because I just thought this would be so simple, because it's like that icing bag, and it really is. So I know I'm going to buy that during the pantry challenge, and then things for the kids' school. So my kids are not homeschooled. They are at a charter school, and I have to purchase, I have to send lunch with them every single day. They do not have any kind of lunch program as far as like a cafeteria. the same as they don't have any buses. I am solely responsible for all their transportation, all their food, everything like that. But unlike if they were homeschooled where I could just feed them whatever we were having, it has to be something that I can put in a lunchbox and that they can eat easily, that type thing. So we do a lot of sandwiches. We do a lot of fresh fruit, a lot of vegetables. So a typical lunch that I send with them would be a sandwich or bagel and a banana, some strawberries, some carrots with ranch dressing, or an apple. And so I usually try to give them at least 1 to 2 fruit options, or a fruit and a vegetable option, a main protein source, and sometimes I will give them a starch or carb, and that is usually something like pretzels or popcorn. I try not to do a lot of chips or crackers because I do try to stay away from preservatives and dyes as much as possible. So those are pretty much everything that I would be buying during the Pantry Challenge, is the fresh fruits, vegetables, and lunchbox convenience options. And that includes like drinks, because they will take a bottled drink. They take their refillable water bottles for during the day, but for their lunch I will give them like bottled green tea or a fizzy juice or something like that. So I did limit what we would buy as far as anything for dinner or what we would be eating here. But there were some times, like my husband wanted Totino's for lunch, and so he would get that. And, you know, I can't control what he wants or buys because he's not doing the Pantry Challenge. He's good about eating whatever I fix, but, you know, that only goes so far. So, we're going to do 2 more trays. And one of them, oh, I just got yogurt all over me. Is going to be this yogurt that we used a while ago, but I am going to add some vanilla that does not have sugar in it. It's like just really authentic Mexican vanilla, so basically vanilla beans and probably vodka of some sort. And we are just going to stir that in to give it a little bit of flavor. Now I could add a little bit of honey to this, but if I remember correctly, the honey does not do that well in the freeze jar, but that may be, you know, just honey, raw honey, because it's, I don't know, I may be wrong. I'll have to go back and look. I know it was like fats, and that really did not flavor it that much. You just get just a hint of it. And I'm just doing 2 rows of this one because I want to know which one it is. But anyway, so for the Pantry Challenge, that was what we bought. And what I found myself doing is we were spending about $100 a week, mostly at Aldi's, on just those fresh items and cheese. And then I also allowed myself, if I wanted to work on a project, then obviously I was going to buy the stuff for a project. So that's where this came from, because I knew I wanted to do this. So I'm allowing myself anything that I need for projects not just dinner. And we're coming to the end. I think we have, what, a week left for the pantry challenge. So this week my refrigerator was completely bare, and I did actually have to go to the grocery store and buy some stuff. But I got my refrigerator cleaned out, which was good, and bought some juices and fresh veggies and fruits for the kids to start for school this week. So I ended up spending almost $200 this week, just because we were completely out of like all the juices, all the drinks, milk, and then we bought all this yogurt. And it makes me realize every time I go is, you know, we don't buy meat. We don't buy a lot of vegetables other than just, I mean, really, I think I bought some baby carrots, and that's about it. And I wonder how people are affording all this. All right, so my freeze dryer is almost ready. Oh, yeah, it actually is ready. It's telling me to load trays. I now have all the different flavors of yogurt on my trays, and so I'm going to get these in the freeze dryer and load it up, and I will try to remember to give you an update on the next video of how that went and how she liked it. So one project that I'm trying to conquer, and we're good to go. So if I make anything interesting for this last week of the pantry challenge, I will definitely do a video. I think I have a couple more recipes that I can share from the last few weeks, but that's an update on the pantry challenge for us and what's going on right now. And once we're done, I'll give you some things that I did find doing this project that was very successful for us and will change how I'm doing things going forward. So thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.